What's up, everybody? Welcome to this special edition of Between Us Sports Live. I'm your host, Reggie. Man, oh man, we got highlights. We're gonna talk some highlights as far as uh, special people, players. Uh, basketball and football. We're going to talk about, uh, their stats and what's going on in the game of football and basketball. Um, so first up, we're gonna speak on Cayenne Anthony. We're gonna talk a little bit about Cayenne. Um, hey, he's been playing really good basketball. Um, uh, his stats for the season so far, playing for Syracuse, I always loved the Orange Man ever since back in the day, even before his dad Mello. I always loved the Orange Man. I kind of rooted for Connecticut, North Carolina, Tar Heels, but I always liked the Orange Man as well. You know, Cayenne, you know, he's averaging 11.9, 12 points per game. You know, right now, uh, two two rebounds, uh, uh, 44% from the field. Um, he's been playing great. And also have one assist per game. And that's expected to rise. Eventually he's gonna get better. He's already looking better. Um, and is the kid, man, is I like his game. He he learned a whole lot from his dad and whatnot. So I've been watching this kid, man. I don't know, man. He's coming. Like Bronny, uh, hey man, my hat off to Bronny. Playing for the Lakers and his dad, and I love that. And I think Bryce is up and coming, but I don't know, man. The ceiling for Cayenne is, man. It looks beautiful, man. It looks bright. I'm telling you, man. The kid got game, man, and he learned from one of the best. You know, and I like to thank Carmelo, man. For hey, man, you're putting out a good product in your son, man. I'm telling you, man. And we need more kids to step up and be confident in what they're trying to do, whether it's basketball or whether or not or whatever you want to be in life. Just step up and do your thing. We're gonna talk a little more basketball. We're gonna talk LeBron. And what is LeBron doing so far? He's been out. First couple of weeks of the season. He's just getting back. This is his fourth game back. And LeBron, last night versus Dallas, he had 34 minutes, 13 rebounds, 5 for 13 from the field, uh, and 7 assists. And in the last 4 games, uh, he's averaging about 16 points per game. And I think that's good, for a guy his age and him anyway, and listen, man, he could average more. But as you know, you got Austin Reeves and you got Luca, you know, playing at the top of their games right now. you know. And it's good to see the Lakers, man. It's different, not, it's a different type of Laker team, man. A Laker organization, they got a new owner and whatnot. So it's kind of different right now. So I'm trying to get into basketball a little more now, you know, as it was past years. I was more into it early in the season. Things change so much, it just changes you, and you try to look at it from a standpoint of, hey, it's business. So it is what it is in that regard. Um, and yeah, he also had 25 points against the Clips, in which they won that game. Good game, LeBron. My hat off to you. So we're gonna kind of switch it over to football a little bit, and we're gonna talk some NFL. Uh, Man, we got hmm, Eagles, Chicago. Man, the Eagles, man. I just don't know. I don't understand. What's I don't get what's going on with the Eagles. Uh, Things here. I don't get what's going on with the Eagles. Um, they just look dead in the water. They're not together. You know, looks like coaching. I think it's a collective, effort. And it's collective. What they're not doing. So you, so what I'm pretty much saying is, I think it's everybody. It's the players. It's the coaches. It's the play calling. You know, and people talk about AJ Brown and his impersonate. Well, him doing what T.O. did when T.O. played for the Cowboys and making things about him. And I don't think it's the same thing. You know, I think AJ Brown was, I believe that he was, simply stating what's going on right now because he saw it and it's happening. Because I don't understand. I don't care who you are, especially the defending champs. And not only that, the Eagles is a good team. They're a great team, superstar team. You're down. You have the Cowboys down 21 to nothing in the first half. And even if you lose this game, you didn't score any points. It's my whole thing. It's everybody's whole thing. Not even as an Eagles fan, but as a sports fan, period. Anybody that don't even know sports or don't watch it, if they see that particular game, like there is no way that happened. But I mean, it happened to the Atlanta Falcons. But hey, but that Atlanta is not the Eagles either. But and of course we're talking about this particular game. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. And of course, the score in that game, Eagles beat Chicago by a touchdown and 2 points, 24 to 15. They lost by 9 at home, and everybody's questioning. A lot of people are questioning the call uh, by the Eagles. Who made the call? Sirianni is his offense. He made the call on a 2 point conversion. He spoke about it and he said at certain times, he decides on whether or not, hey, should I take the 2 point conversion? And that's what he did. Um, I think they should have went for the field goal because you would have more than likely got the field goal. I mean, if you missed the field goal, then hey, but I think that would have been the best choice. But he didn't make that choice. He made his choice. We can judge him all day, but hey, the game is lost. That's just it. And I think that they got to do better. You know, The team is looking bad right now. The team is looking awful. And sometimes you don't get back, but I think they'll get back. And if they need to make decisions, they just need to make decisions. I don't know who's got to go and whatnot. Me personally, uh, if they if they're 8-4 right now, if they go in the last 5, 6 games right now, if they go 9, if they go 7, if they go no, if they go not 7, what am I talking about? If they go 10-8, because I think it's like 18 games or 10-7. If they go 10-7, mm, man, I don't know. I gotta, I would have to question them. They could possibly still, they'll probably still make the playoffs, but man, but just going in and if they lose in the playoffs, whatever round, if they go 10-7 and they lose in the first round, I think Sirianni's job is in jeopardy again. He may not get fired. I don't like to see nobody get fired, but I just think that they're probably going to need a new voice in the locker room or whatever. They just going to need to do something. And as far as the OC is concerned and the defense I think will survive, but they won't survive because of the offense. If the offense continues to play this way, you know, uh, Jalen Hurts had 230 yards passing in that game, one TD, one INT. Um, he looked a little off, not too off, but he looked a little off from his normal self. I just think he looked better running the ball. And I don't know why they went away from that, but I think they need to go back to it because when he ran the ball, he picked up some good yards. And that's the Jalen Hurts that we're used to. I don't know why people are looking for him to, you know, pass the ball like everybody else. He can throw the ball. Yes, he can. But a part of his game is running. A percentage of his game is running as well. Patrick Mahomes can run the ball, but that's not really his game. His game is throwing, you know, at best, but he can't run, you know. So every quarterback, every running back, every wide receiver has their own way, forte or whatever, and how they play, and you know how they play the game of football. Uh, AJ Brown, AJ Brown, my hat off to him. Like I said, he talked about a lot of the things that were kind of going sideways with the team. You know, he talked a lot about in past interviews and how the team was too conservative. They needed to get better. You know, at just just doing different things to win. They was just being too conservative. He thought so, and and he was right. There's no secret. Everybody saw that they were. You know, and he didn't really want to say, but he was criticizing. And I think it was good criticism because he turned out to be right. You know, he turned out to be right. He just wanted to win. He had uh, what he had in that game against Chicago last night. Uh, he had 10 receptions. He had 10 catches for 132 yards, and he had the only two touchdowns that the Eagles had last night, but in a loss. And And still, the same things that he talked about, even though he had those catches, those receptions, it just was every now and then. It didn't even seem like he had 10 receptions. Didn't even seem like it seemed like he had about 3 or 4 because he didn't have them that often in the game. He had them in spurts, here, there, here, there, here, there, each quarter and whatnot. But my hat off to him. He played tough. That was a tough catch, both catches. But the one he caught the ball and just kind of jumped in the end zone, jumped over the you know the Chicago players that were trying to defend him. They fell, and he jumped over them and walked into the end zone. So I love that play. Devontae Smith was non-factor. Not that he's not a good player. I think he's a great player, excellent. You know, um, but as far as like Jalen said, as far as the game, the way the game has been played, uh, he just couldn't get off. The team, the chemistry of the team was just off, man. And I don't know if you can blame that on AJ Brown, uh, if other players felt like he was selfish, and because sometimes when you talk, you know, about the team, it sometimes it make everybody feel a certain way about you, and they start looking at you a certain way, and everybody get all emotional about what's going on. Hey, AJ wants it to be about him, and that type of thing can happen. So you just got to be careful with that as well when you saying stuff as a player. And I think he realizes that. But hey, man, if it hurts, it hurts because it's not aimed at nobody. He said himself that he wanted to do it. It wasn't just one person or one thing. It's everybody and everything that they weren't doing and they needed to do. That's just it. So I'm buying it. We're gonna get on Joe Burrow. We're gonna talk a little bit about Joe Burrow right now. Uh, the Bengals, as we all know, they haven't been playing good the whole season, really. He got injured at the beginning of the season again. He came back, you know, threw for 261, 2 touchdowns, had no interceptions. And he had a fairly good game. Had a decent game against Lamar and the Ravens. We were talk a little bit more about Lamar and the Ravens, you know, on another podcast or on another episode or whatever. But yeah, Joe Burrow had a good game. But the thing the thing I look at here is with Joe Burrow, they're not they're not as good as he's not he even though he went to a Super Bowl, but he still hasn't done anything. He went to a Super that's great. But you gotta let that go. He stayed injured. It's not like he came back and went back to the Super Bowl again. He kept getting injury after injury. So, I think he was great in college. He was. And I think he could be great in the NFL. But they've already given him that great status already. And I just don't think so. And hey, that's me. That's my opinion, and you have your opinion. Whatever. That's just how I feel. Um, Shador. We're gonna talk a little bit about Shador as well before we get out of here. Um, Shador had 209 yards, one TD, one interception against the Raiders. And now people say, oh man, he beat the Raiders. Yeah, of course he had a good game against the Raiders. Nah, that's not it. They are a professional team as well. You know, they got professional players, athletes, whatever. Um, I just think Shador has the hurdle for Shador is not as high as people say, because that's their hurdle. It's just all about what he thinks, and that's what I think uh, he's using for him and in his life and for football. You know what people say doesn't matter. You know, if he let people get in his head, then of course he's going to have a high hurdle to get over. But as far as himself, I think he's confident enough and to not let it go like that. People talk about, is it arrogance or confidence or both or whatever. I just think it's confidence. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody is have a little arrogance with them. You know, as long as you remain humble, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's more confidence than anything. I really do. He had a really good game, and I think he's going to do well against the 49ers. All this talk about him, Kevin Stefanski, you know, their relationship. We don't know their relationship. We know the things that we've seen him say. And I've seen things that he's said. I know it seemed like when they asked Stefanski questions about Shador, you know, he kind of like brushed it off a little bit because that's what it was. You know, however he feels, however the organization feels about Shador, you know, um, I don't know how good that is, man, because I really don't know how they feel. But given the situation and given what was said when he got picked by the Browns, you know, I just don't feel comfortable with him being on that team. But I'm like everyone else, I'm in no control over that. You know, maybe Cleveland is just the team that he needs to get him going. He may not even stay there long term, and I don't think that he will. I think there's uh, better and more opportunity out there for Shador with another team. I think so. Whether or not it's going to happen like that, we'll never know until that time comes, or if that time comes. And I think, you know, I love the role that Dion is playing in Shador's life right now. You know, uh, he's being more of a father rather than trying to coach his son. He already coached his son in Colorado when he was there. He's not trying to really coach his son or get involved with whatever Cleveland is doing. You know, I guess he's giving him a little pep talk and whatever, and that's what it is. And that's what he should do. And he's really staying out of all the talk and the hype, you know, whatever. You know, we know what it is. We know we can see what's going on, and he does too. So before I get out of here, you know, I want to let everybody know uh, to go to my website if you want to cop some gear. Uh, my my brand called Motivated. You know, you can order from hatchweare.com. Go to that website. You know, I got hats, t-shirts, whatever color you want. You know, hey, I got it. You know, Remember, support my brand. I thank everyone who have supported my brand and will support my brand. And remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Yo, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. That's all I got for today. Hope everybody enjoy the rest of their Thanksgiving weekend. Be safe. And a real friend doesn't let a real friend drink and drive. Remember that. Peace.